Experience the future of video production with PTZOptics. Enjoy fluid camera robotics, unparalleled connectivity options, free tools, and firmware updates, all backed by award-winning US-based support and robust warranties, perfect for any production. PTZOptics cameras feature advanced robotics and high-quality optics, including broadcast standard lenses and up to 30x zoom with rapid autofocus. Our high-performance Sony CMOS sensors also ensure vibrant, accurate colors and clear images for 1080p or 4K. PTZOptics bridges the gap between traditional and modern connectivity, supporting SDI, HDMI, and USB outputs. As pioneers in integrating NDI and Dante AV-H technology, PTZOptics has been developing solutions to enhance the flexibility and quality of video productions for over a decade. PTZOptics' advanced auto-tracking technology with presenter lock ensures your subject remains in focus. Dynamic zoom gives you full control over optical zoom during auto-tracking, perfect for manual adjustments on the fly. Plus, PTZOptics auto-framing technology with group lock easily frames any group of subjects, making it ideal for group discussions, team presentations, and special events. PTZOptics offers a range of hardware, software, and apps to simplify precision camera control. Whether you're on site in the studio, running your workflow with the award-winning SuperJoy Joystick controller, or off-site using PTZOptics Hive Studio to coordinate with your production team across multiple locations from anywhere in the world, or using one of our free tools and apps to manage your cameras on the fly, PTZOptics empowers users of all experience levels to streamline their productions. Plus, PTZOptics cameras and controllers are compatible with many popular third-party products, allowing them to integrate easily into existing production systems and setups. At PTZOptics, we understand the importance of maintaining a consistent look and feel when coordinating multi-camera productions. That's why we keep track of the details, like color matching. Simple, with precise, easy-to-use free tools compatible with various popular third-party products. Use PTZOptics Hive Studio or our CMP to ensure that your content always looks its best, saving time in post-production on color matching and more. At PTZOptics, we stand behind our products and are committed to supporting our customers and partners over the long haul. With robust warranties included as standard on every product, you can trust PTZOptics solutions to deliver high performance from day one and for many years to follow. Plus, our award-winning US-based support team offers an extensive knowledge base, forums, online case management, and phone and video support Monday through Friday. So, when you contact PTZOptics for support, you won't get an automated system. You'll get a team of experts ready to help. PTZOptics offers solutions for everyone, from PTZ cameras to webcams, box cameras, and controllers, for productions large and small. Streamline your workflow, expand your capabilities, and experience unmatched control across your PTZOptics cameras and over 400 third-party camera models with Hive Studio, all without the need for additional hardware or software. Plus, PTZOptics is committed to empowering users to future-proof their AV setups. Unlock new features on every PTZOptics products for years, with free firmware updates and tools included as standard on every model. Because when you work with PTZOptics, you're not just elevating your capabilities today, you're investing in your production potential for tomorrow, too. Share your vision with the power of PTZOptics.
Hello.
Welcome to PTZOptics Live. We are live the last Wednesday of every month at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've got an exciting show in store for you. We're talking all about camera control options, starting with something as simple as a remote control, headed towards software, hardware, even APIs. We are going to dive into all the vast array of control options that we do have for you. Please let us know where you're watching from in the chat, and be sure to say hello. We are live right now, so we are so excited to engage with you today and dive right into it. John, what do you got for us with Share Your Vision?
Well. Thanks for having me today, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about controllers, as Tess mentioned, but stay tuned to the end of the show. We have a little bit of a giveaway for a Move SE. You have to be watching if you want to get that Move SE. But I want to talk a little bit about Share Your Vision. You can go to Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, all your social media platforms, and use hashtag Share Your Vision and show off your controller like we're going to be showing off today, or show off one of your cameras, any PTZOptics piece of hardware, or if you're just using our web UI and you have a new cool API use for our cameras or controllers, show it off and use hashtag Share Your Vision so we can see, and maybe we can even share your vision here on the show with us. So, Paul, I heard you recently came back from abroad. Can you tell us a little bit about where you came back from?
Yeah, so our audio is a little low, by the way, Mike. We're getting from the chat. Thank you for critiquing and helping us in the chat. We always are listening. I just got back from the International Broadcast Convention in Amsterdam, where we were meeting with people from all over the world, over 20 countries we talked to. And we talked about PTZOptics Hive, our new cloud-based camera control solution. We looked at our joystick controllers. Today, we're going to jump into everything. So we've got the app. We have a free iOS app we're going to look at. We're going to look at the SuperJoy and the controllers. And I'd love to know from you guys, what are you using to control PTZ cameras? If you're using the remote control, a serial joystick, an IP joystick, an app, maybe you're using vMix, maybe you're using OBS. We're going to dig into it all today, which is going to give you a really good look at the dynamic options for remotely controlling your cameras. So let us know, and we'll see what we should have a poll of some kind maybe next time, but love to know what you guys are doing for controlling your cameras.
It's really easy to make a poll in YouTube, so I'll go ahead and do that now.
Oh, cool. So maybe we'll have a poll for you guys, and we'll see who is controlling what cameras in which way, which will be interesting. But we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Is there anything else that I'm missing? We showed a brand new Zcam 4K, which is going to be shipping soon. We have a new 4K Zcam. We showed our award-winning remote production software, which is called Hive Studio, which we'll dig into. And we're going to jump right in, I think, to starting to control cameras with an IR remote control. So each camera comes for free with an IR remote control. We want to make sure you have something right out of the box to control your cameras. These IR remote controls actually have the ability to control 4 cameras. So what you can do is you can actually go on the top of the camera and select which camera you want to control. Now, by default, if you have 4 cameras and you hit the right or left button, you're going to control all 4 cameras that are in here. Now, if you want to know which camera you're controlling, it would be the one that you click this button for. So if you click camera 2, so I'm going to click camera 2, I'm no longer controlling the camera in front of me. When I click camera 1, I am controlling the camera in front of me. So let's take, now that I have control, let's take just a closer look at this remote here. There are some shortcuts on this remote controller. So one of the great shortcuts is called *4. And what that does, if I hit *4, is it's going to display the IP address of the camera.
That's a great trick.
So if you are setting up a joystick controller, for example, I'll click enter to get that back, and you need to type in the IP address of your camera into a joystick or into a smartphone app, just hitting *4 into your camera will then set it up to get that IP address and plug it into the web browser. We're going to look at the web browser and controlling the camera that way, and we're going to look at a lot of different control options. Now, another really slick little shortcut, and this is all in the manual. Now, the manual does not ship with the camera. Only a quick start guide does. So I'm not sure if this is in the quick start guide or not. But you can hit *pound F2 to switch the camera that you're controlling to be controllable by camera select 2. So this is just an important thing to think about. So right now, I'm controlling this on camera 1, right? But if I hit *pound F2, now it's only going to respond if the camera is in camera select 2, okay? So if I have it on camera select 1 and I click left, right, nothing's going to happen from the IR remote. But if I hit camera select 2, now it is. So that is how if you have 4 cameras and you want to control all 4 from the same IR remote, what you would do is turn camera 1 on, maybe set it to camera select 1, go to camera 2. Now with IR remote, you have to be a little careful not to hit 2 cameras at once with the same command. So you kind of want to turn one off or on when you're setting this up. And then in camera 2, you would hit *pound F2, camera 3 *pound F3, and forward so that you can control 4 cameras with one single IR remote control. So that's the IR remote. You can call PTZ camera presets simply by, if I set a preset right now, just by holding down a preset. I'll create a preset right now, zoom out, and maybe move over a little bit. Just by clicking the button again, I should be able to call a preset. Oh, I haven't used the IR remote in a little while. I think to call a preset, we may need to hit preset 5. Let's zoom out. I haven't done this in a while. We just hit the number 5. There. And it goes right back. So that is called a PTZ preset. Usually I use a joystick. I use my smartphone. But this concept is important to understand. If you're all the way over here and I want to go back to a PTZ preset that I set up, and look at that. Pan, tilting, and zooming all at the same time. That pan, tilt, and zoom that happens at the same time, that's happening because we have speed by zoom, but we also have motion sync on. And I think motion sync is in the setup area here. Motion sync. So this is on by default, so you're going to have that experience. But if you want the camera to zoom in like as fast as possible and you don't care about what it looks like on camera, you can turn motion sync off. Let's see what that looks like, the difference now. And what you're going to see if I call preset 5 now, it does a little bit, it's just a little different. Seems to be very similar actually. But motion sync is on. So there are things that affect the PTZ camera preset movements. One of them being motion sync. And there's a speed for that. So just giving you some ideas. It's a powerful way. This is the on-screen display menu, which you can get to by hitting the menu button on the IR remote. And I think that's all for the IR remote. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it comes with every PTZOptics PTZ camera, so it's really the most basic way, though it does carry a lot of options behind it to control your cameras. So
Yeah.
very nice there.
Great for setting up right out of the box, just getting started. And like Tess said, it's free. So easily way to jump in and control it. But there's more advanced options. Paul, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and I see a question here as well on the IR receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So with the new Move SE cameras, we have now put a receiver on both the front and the back. But for the Gen 2 cameras, they were always just on the front. So that is a good way, because if you're behind the cameras, they still generally work. But we did put a IR receiver on the back of the Move SE cameras. All right. It saves movement speeds within the preset. Oh, so that's a good point. So when you set a PTZ preset, it's going to save all the color settings and the PTZ speeds that you have set for that preset. So we'll go into that a little bit more and in more depth with the SuperJoy.
Woohoo!
So the SuperJoy is an IP joystick controller. This one is really popular. I've got it right here in front of me here, and it's going to control this camera right in front of me. And we're going to show this in two different views. One is going to be the on-screen display menu, which if we pull that up, it is 192.168.21.221. This is the IP address of this device. This device is connected to the network, so it's power over Ethernet. And when it's connected to your network, it receives an IP address that you can enter into any web browser to connect to it. And so I'm going to go ahead and connect to it, and I believe I'm sharing my screen for the broadcast to see. And this is kind of important because basically I'm logging into this device and configuring it. So when you get a SuperJoy, you're going to want to know the IP address of the cameras. And so this is one of the IP addresses of the camera that I'm connecting to. And this camera here is 192.168.21.76 here. So this is a networked camera, and it's going to connect over VSCA over IP, but we support a lot of different connection types. So we can connect to any VSCA camera, any Sony camera, Panasonic, OnVIF, and NDI. So OnVIF meaning any security camera, NDI meaning any camera that supports NDI, all Panasonic cameras. And in general, PTZOptics cameras are going to be VSCA UDP. Now we also support an HDMI output. That means this device can actually power a monitor and show the video of the camera that you're connected to. Looks like some people are really saying they love their SuperJoys.
Yeah.
It's a great device. And what this HDMI output is doing is it's taking the RTSP video stream from this address and outputting it via HDMI to a monitor. So that's how that works. And then there's also a trigger button. So you can actually have custom buttons for each camera and each SuperJoy to call, maybe toggle off and on auto tracking. So now that we've seen this, let's do a couple more things here. One is I want to show you how you can search the network. So what we're doing here is we're searching the entire network. And what's going to happen is it's going to pull up all of the cameras and devices that it finds on the local area network for us to control. Now, right now we're searching for NDI. Let's search for PTZOptics. And it should come up with a list of PTZOptics cameras here. Okay. So it would be easy to just say, all right, I'm going to add this camera to my list and save it, and we should be good to go. I can add that into group 1, make it channel 2, and give it a name. Call it camera 2 and save. Okay. So now that we have this camera in here, we can actually name the presets, which is nice. And the reason why I like naming presets, and this is, I'm glad the engineers put this in here, is that sometimes you're working with a volunteer or someone and you don't know what the presets are. So this allows you to name them. So you could say, you know, podium, it could be stage right, stage left, stage center. And when we save these, now they're saved, and in the SuperJoy, when you call those presets, it's going to show you, where the camera is actually supposed to be going to. Now, enough of that. Let's take a look at the actual controller here, and I want to show kind of some of the awesome features here. And I'm going to try to use a brand new telestration feature. We'll see if it works. It's brand new, but I want to try to telestrate, which means basically like annotate on top of the video. Oh, it's working. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go to the live video of the SuperJoy. And I want to just give you a layout of this IP joystick. We have two IP joysticks. One is the PTZOy G4, which is a little bit more affordable. And the other one is the SuperJoy. So we've got two PTZOys. And Mike, if we just cut to the SuperJoy here, I want to just show the, here it is. All right, so this is the joystick here. And this joystick has a button on it. So that button on top of the joystick can be used to trigger on and off auto tracking, for example. Now, the cool thing about this, and then you've also got these buttons right here. which are the custom buttons. So these buttons can be designed to do anything that you would like in your production. So turn off and on auto tracking. It could turn off and on recording with vMix, for example, or I think OBS works with WebSockets, and then TriCaster is another software like that. So those are some really cool ones. On this side over here, on this edge, we have the white balance and the shutter speed and color gain and iris and shutter speed on these knobs here. And then on this area, we have the speed of the PTZ camera. So this is the tilt speed, the pan speed, the zoom speed. So you can really dial in what happens when you move this joystick and how quickly the camera moves. Now, I'll give you guys some tips here. For example, if you're tracking someone on stage, you probably don't need the camera to go up and down much. You can actually just have it go left and right. So you can turn the up and down, which is the tilt, you can turn that speed very low because you don't need that speed to be high. And it actually can help you avoid accidentally going up too high or down too high. You can also do pan tilt limits. So if you're doing sports and you're tracking fast movement left and right, you can have it so you go left, but then it automatically hits an edge limit so that you never overshoot the basketball net or the hockey rink. So a lot of cool things you can do as you start to become a PTZ camera operator and producer. And it looks like somebody likes the telestrator. It's really cool for presentations. We're loving it. Now, the other thing here is we have, there it is, these two knobs here. So these two knobs are for fine adjustment of zoom and focus. Then next to those, we have a small thing. This is for changing cameras. And then here we have for calling presets. So that's the IP joystick in a nutshell. If you're interested in learning more, we can jump into that and answer questions, obviously. But we're going to keep moving because we have a lot of stuff to go over today.
A lot of options.
All right, so next is the serial joystick, which you've got over there, Mike. Or sorry, John.
Yes, we have this
John's got
guy
his
over
own joystick.
here. So, not sure how we can show this off here, but I could flip it around for you guys.
There we
There you
go.
go.
You can see a little bit of a
Hand model.
shot of it.
Now, it does control that camera right behind you, so try doing that joystick.
Alrighty, so we have a 30x move 4K behind me here. Try adjusting
Ooh, it's moving.
That's funny.
it. It's not very
Little
often.
partner there.
Yeah, it's not very often you're adjusting a camera that's behind you.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
So the cool thing about serial control is there's no network needed.
Right.
You can, if you're just doing HDMI, for example, and you want to plug your camera directly into an ATEM Mini or an Epiphan Pearl or a television, right, or USB for a Zoom call, you don't have a network, you don't need it. You get a serial joystick, it plugs directly from the joystick into the camera, and it's easy peasy. Now, with that being said, serial is basically getting a little bit of it as an older technology. So just keep the camera. Oh, well, that's the slider camera. Each PTZOptics camera has both an in and an out. So, Mike, I don't know if we can go back to maybe the SuperJoy here. And I've got a camera right here. Look at that. Boom, not bad. This will work. Oh, perfect. Look at that. We got a PTZ camera. So, all right. I'm trying to get
Thank
to
God for
it
those.
right there. Okay, these right here, these are serial connections. So what happens is camera one, the joystick plugs into the in port, and that's an RS-232 port. And then if you want to add it to a second camera, you would go ahead and daisy chain the control. So this is really nice because instead of having to run a home run connection, meaning one Ethernet per camera, you can run daisy chains from one to the next. Now, most of us are powering our cameras over Ethernet anyway, so why not use Ethernet for video, control, and power? But serial control is still a pretty good option. If it were me and I'm running and gunning, I would use it. It's only $299, a very simple joystick controller. If you've got a one camera setup and you're not an IT person, maybe an Ethernet cable run would be difficult to do. This might be the option for you. What do you think of it, John?
Yeah, it's absolutely great. I mean, it's so affordable. There's not many controllers really on the market that are this affordable and built this sturdy as well. It comes with really everything you need to really just control the camera out of the gate.
Mike has
Accessible
a shot for
buttons.
you there.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at that.
So you can see similar buttons to adjusting zoom speed, pan, tilt speed, and everything like that. Obviously, iris, shutter, and gain here, and R and B gain as well.
Maybe, yeah, hold it up a little bit.
See a little bit better here.
Yeah. It will be hard to press the buttons, but
Yeah, but you can
at least
see
you
your
can see what's on
camera
the buttons.
selection here. You can lock and unlock focus, as well as this button right on top of the joystick as well, which Paul mentioned on the SuperJoy as well. Adding custom controls like snap focus as well is really popular for this top little button. But yeah, a lot of great functionality that can come from this, and a little bit cheaper than the SuperJoy, so it's a little more affordable there.
Great.
Alrighty. Besides that, I guess I can mention a little bit. There's obviously third-party controllers that you can use. Most are going to be way more expensive than any of the controllers that we're showing off here, like the SuperJoy and Joy G4. A lot of those controllers, Sony, Panasonic, Canon, they're kind of exclusive for those cameras. Our controllers are not. They work, as Paul showed off, with a lot of different cameras, and they have a lot of different functionality. So check out the SuperJoy and Joy G4.
All right. So next we're going to the iOS app. Now, I hope we get an Android version of this one of these days. Currently, it's just for iOS, but it's on version 2, and it's really, really good. So let's jump into this. This is 100% free, and it is our new iOS app. So Mike has a shot of it. Let's see if I can get this a little nicer. Ah, there we go.
That's better.
Beautiful.
That's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. There you go, Mike. So we have a PTZOptics camera, and then we've actually got a test cam, believe it or not, in here, Tess. Look at that.
What does that mean?
I think that means it's your camera.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Is that the way you like it, Mike?
Yes, he's happy with that.
Okay, you're happy with that? So I have to move myself a little bit so I can see this. All right. So this is PTZ Control Pro 2. It's totally free, and I've got 2 cameras connected to it. If you hit the plus button, what it's going to do is it's going to search the network for PTZOptics cameras and allow you to add them. You can also add them manually just by typing in the IP address, selecting the model, and adding them in, which I have already done here. So I've got 2 cameras connected, and they're both showing as online, meaning I'm pretty much connected to them now. I'm going to choose the PTZOptics camera, and you got a couple different options here. One of them is PTZ Control, so let's go ahead and choose that. Now, the cool thing with PTZ Control is that you also have live video. So full live video and PTZ Control, and one of my personal favorite features, I think if I just rotate it, boom, you've got a widescreen mode, where now you can control pan, tilt, and zoom. Now, I have to say, with the developer, I'm going to talk to him about this. It's a little, I think the UI leaves a little bit to be desired. I think there's some UI updates that we can do for this, but it is working, and it's really nice. So if I rotate it this way, it goes back to that view. And if you rotate it widescreen, you get a full widescreen video control. This is 100% free. And then again, those presets, right? So if I call a preset, it's going to jump over to a preset. And, you know, we looked at what presets do. So it's got preset support. It's got medium, small, and large, kind of how you want that. And then you've got some other really cool things, such as voice control. You can actually use your own voice to call presets. That was one of my personal requests that they finally did. I was happy about that. Now look what I just did there. I switched between a PTZ camera. So you can just hit this button here and switch between the cameras that you want very easily. And look how quickly it switches and gives you live video preview.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a cool app. They've got a lot going on here. So other than PTZ Control, let me just completely mess up your shot test. So that Mike has to put that back. Sorry. Okay. You got OSD. What this does is gives you access to the on-screen display menu. So and you can turn off and on auto tracking too. That's new.
Yeah.
So this is actively being developed, by the way. New features are coming. We need to cover this in a full show at some point.
It could be its own show.
Yeah, like you mentioned, like our developers are constantly working on improving it, expanding it to hopefully beyond the iOS app as well in the future. So keep an eye out on our iOS app. There's a lot of PTZ cameras that you can control via the web UI, and sometimes you can do that on mobile, but there's not many PTZ cameras that offer full camera control from just an application. So check out the iOS app. It's a great tool, and again, it's free. So totally worth checking out.
Another thing you can do, by the way, is stream directly from the camera through this app.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to stream directly from your camera, just know that you should probably connect your camera to audio as well. And so that is a 3.5 millimeter audio input on the back of the camera. You can just run a line level audio output from your audio mixer or a microphone, because you will likely want to have audio with your live stream. Okay.
Be careful. Don't cross those streams.
Just don't cross the streams. Don't only stream from one at a time. All right. So that's the iOS app. What do we have next?
Talk about the web UI.
Ah, the web UI. That's perfect. Okay. So this is a good part of the presentation. Let's go to whose camera should I control today? All right. So I pulled up the web UI here, and it looks like I've got a Move 4K camera. So as soon as you hit the web UI of a PTZOptics camera, you're going to see the username and password is going to ask you for. So by default, it's admin, but just be aware that that is changing. There's some new security laws in Europe that we will be complying to, and it will force you to create a more secure password for your own benefit. So this camera here is a PTZOptics Move 4K. And so what this is allowing us to do is have a live video preview of the camera, whether that be full screen or in any web browser, having full control of audio video settings, streaming settings, your NDI connectivity, your networking. And then something that I'm just going to jump right to is the ability to very quickly update the firmware. My firmware is up to date right now, but all you got to do is click one button, see if you have up-to-date firmware, and it's so important to keep the updated firmware because our team is constantly adding new features. The control area is an area where is probably worth taking a peek at. Let's go ahead and show this with two people on camera. Actually, it's only going to catch you, Tess. But what I'm going to do is turn on auto tracking with multi-target select on, just to show this really quickly. And what it's going to do is it's going to call preset 1. Why did it do that? Because I had preset 1 calling. I would like track now on. So what that does is when you turn on auto tracking on and off, you can have it automatically call a preset, or you can have it automatically start tracking where the camera is, which is what most customers usually want. So I'm going to hit track now again, and it's going to recognize Tess. Hey, John, can you just like peek out from the side there? All right, there we go. All right, so I just want to show what's happening here. So now we have 1 and 2 being shown here, meaning box 1 is on Tess and box 2 is on John. So if I click 2 here, it's actually going to start tracking John. If I have 1 on, it's going to track Tess. And that just shows you a little bit of what you can do within this web UI for auto tracking, auto framing, group tracking. That's all the tracking stuff here. Obviously, you have full pan, tilt, zoom controls here for zooming in and out. You can set and call presets. So if we want to set a preset here, I could type a number, let's just call it 5 and hit set. If I move the camera to a new location and then I hit preset 5, it's going to go back to that preset that I just set. So setting and calling presets. Full control over speed. So we have pan, tilt, and zoom speeds that allow you to control the cameras and how they move. And then you have full image settings. So getting your images set up for iris, shutter speed. This one has got 4 gain on. We do not want that. Gain is not ideal because it adds basically artifacting into the image. So instead, we'd probably want to do maybe dynamic range control and open up the shutter speed if we need to. So now I turn the gain down and it looks actually much better.
Our firmware updates an online download or local file on a PC from Santiago.
Yeah, so it will download onto the whatever. It's a good question, actually, because I think it still downloads onto the computer that you're accessing the web UI through.
We have John in the chat to verify, but Michael's saying that's correct.
Yeah. So so when you hit check for firmware and it finds firmware, it's going to have you download it just like a website, and it's going to download to the computer that you're connected to on. Then you upload that to the camera. And they're not big files, so it's nothing crazy there. You just upload it. And so that is the web UI. I'm trying to think if there's anything we're missing here. One thing that I'll say with the web UI is that there's a lot of camera options here. So for example, the camera can support multiple streams coming off of it. 2 streams to be exact, right? You got stream 1 and stream 2. And stream 1 is your high quality stream. So this is your stream that you want to this is the stream that's used for NDI. And it's the stream that you might want to connect for recording video over IP. And so you can set the bit rate and the resolution and the iframe intervals. Stream 2 is generally used for lower bandwidth situations where you want to have a view, but you don't need it to be high bit rate. So you've got both of your, all your streaming configuration stuff here. Also, you can stream directly from the camera to YouTube or Facebook. And so this is where you actually put the stream URL and stream key, turn it on, and start streaming.
Paul, would you say the web UI has the most control options for adjusting the camera's image compared to any of the other control options that we offer?
I would say between the web UI and Hive are the 2 most advanced color correction tools that we have.
Okay.
So I think it goes right web UI, and then it goes to the camera management platform, the CMP. So I'm going to pull that up and start from scratch. All right, so the CMP, this is a free piece of software for Mac and PC computers that allows you to add cameras directly through the software. And I've got the software pulled up right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how it works. So just by clicking the Add Camera button, we can go ahead and see all the cameras, and we can select several. So let's select 4 cameras and add them to the CMP for control and management. It found 14 cameras, and I think that might be a bit much for what we're doing. So it's very easy. You just kind of click the camera, and then you've got control of it. So that's that 30X behind you, John. And oh my gosh, look, you can take a picture. You can take a picture with this. I don't like how a save image thing pops up every time, but you can take a picture with this, so that's good. Thank you, engineers, for putting that in there. I like taking pictures with my PTZ cameras.
It's a cool feature. What do you guys in the audience think about it?
Yeah, what do you guys think? Would you guys ever take a picture with your PTZ camera? I wonder what the resolution of that picture is. We'll have to take a peek at that later. But it does take pictures, so that's cool. You can also look at the cameras in a quad view. So I'm just going to get a quad view open here. So now we're looking at look at that. Within, 60 seconds, I've got 4 cameras in here. Got PTZ control, zooming in and out. It's very responsive. We can record video. So I'm recording video here. And you can take snapshots. So take pictures, you can take videos, you can call PTZ camera presets. And one thing that is unique for the CMP software is the ability to set the pan tilt limit. So we were talking about this earlier. There's this PT limit helper, and what it does is This is when you can set the pan tilt limits, like if you're in sports, or even, by the way, this green screen is a good example. Let's say this is our green screen camera, and we don't want the camera to leave the green screen. We want that to be the edge. So we do not want it to ever go past, all right, so let's say from here, which is the edge of the green screen, okay, to here, which is not the edge of the green screen, but I need some play here for my demonstration. So once that's set, you cannot go past that limit. See how it just stops right there? So if you're doing a green screen, it's super, super ideal for that. You would now have that set. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this. And I hope that that has now, yep, now I can pan tilt past that. So setting up pan tilt limits are really good. The other things you can do is for color correction, you can actually go in to, and you can look at like 2 cameras at once. So this is really good. Let's just say, for example, we're going to pan tilt these 2 cameras into our green screen over here, and we're going to try to get the greens to match. Let's close this. And so, oh, we got 2 of the exact same cameras up. Boom. So these are 2 different cameras. What I can do is I can use a color matcher, and I can do this on both cameras and try to get them to match. So let's go here. Struggling a little bit. Okay, there we go. So you can see the red, green, and blue values of that green are different. They are not the same. So we can go into the color sections and start to do some tuning. And I can start to make this one more red and this one more blue, and I can change the sensitivity, and the hue makes a huge difference actually, until I start to get these color values to be the same. So we're literally looking at the pixel level of the color values to color match these, and this is super, super helpful. There's actually a lot more to this application, so because of the time limitation today, we're not going to go over everything, but I do want to show one of my favorites for computer programmers, which is basically a command interface where every single PTZOptics command is outlined, and you can send test commands and copy and paste them. So if you are a developer, this is a great way to learn how all the commands work and do testing. So, I mean, we could go over a lot of stuff here. It supports Xbox controllers. It supports X keys and hotkeys. It supports a preset matrix. We've got a full web API, so you can control this all remotely with this IP address. This is completely free for all PTZOptics cameras. We've got a simple controller that just kind of breaks down simple control for different cameras. And then all the settings in here for your color themes and workplace. So it's just a lot going on with this app. We hope that it's helpful for you, and it's completely free. So we hope that you enjoy it. Now the next big one is the StreamDeck plugin that we just did a video about that's super popular. And I think we're going to show a video for that one because my StreamDeck is in Amsterdam. Do we have a video for the
Mike's
StreamDeck?
queuing that up.
Yep.
While he's queuing that up, Joystick won out on software or on controllers of your cameras on the
Nice.
poll. Then streaming software, then the iOS app, then the CMP.
Oh, that's great.
Simplify camera control with the PTZOptics StreamDeck plugin. This new Elgato StreamDeck plugin transforms your PTZOptics cameras with intuitive and customizable controls. Ideal for live streaming, teaching, or broadcasting in any setting. This StreamDeck plugin simplifies camera management.
All right, the video froze then, so having a little technical difficulties on that. So basically, we've got this cool new StreamDeck plugin that allows you to customize control of your PTZ cameras with the StreamDeck.
Yes.
Designed
So
for
that gives you
simplicity and
complete custom
efficiency,
control.
this integration allows you to manage pan, tilt, and zoom effortlessly, ensuring your focus is perfect in real time, whether live streaming or recording. The PTZOptics StreamDeck plugin supports various models, including the StreamDeck Mini, XL, Plus, Pedal, the StreamDeck Neo, and their iOS application. Now, you can easily control your Move SE, Move 4K, and Link 4K cameras from your StreamDeck. Manage pan, tilt, and zoom speeds. Adjust focus, exposure, and white balance in real time. Trigger presets and even control your PTZOptics camera on your StreamDeck. With one click, you can access additional controls like auto tracking, the camera menu, and special modes like black and white, flip, or mirror your image. Get a live camera preview on the buttons or small screens of the StreamDeck Plus. Trigger tally lights so your talent always knows when they're live. Don't have a StreamDeck? No problem. Take control wherever you go with the free StreamDeck iOS app. Seamlessly drag and drop your camera features with just a swipe. Looking for enhanced control? The PTZOptics SuperJoy controller offers advanced features for precisely managing multiple cameras and complex setups. Enjoy user-friendly multi-camera management, 1080p HDMI preview output, and a boost in productivity and video quality. You can try the free plugin by visiting ptzoptics.com/StreamDeck or downloading the StreamDeck application from the Apple App Store. Embrace the future of video production with the PTZOptics StreamDeck plugin, perfect for educators, broadcasters, and creators alike.
All right.
Thanks for showing that video, Mike. So as you saw, the StreamDeck has many different options. The XL, the Mini, even the Pedal. If you want to use your foot to trigger a preset, you can do that with the StreamDeck Pedal. You might have also seen that there's an iOS app. It's unfortunately only limited to Apple as well, but it is free. So you can download, and I think it's up to 6 different options. And you basically have complete custom control when it comes to using the StreamDeck for both the physical hardware and the iOS app. As you saw, there's tons of options, whether changing image settings, changing camera control, lot of options for the StreamDeck there.
Yeah. Now, by the way, getting a couple questions here I want to address. One of them is, yes, PTZOptics does support Companion. It's a little basic, and our engineers know that, and they're looking at spending some more time to really add auto tracking and all the new features that are available to Companion. So we know about Companion. It's definitely on our roadmap to do that. Will it work with the StreamDeck Studio? It should. It definitely should work. It's a little bit of a different layout, and the pre-configured presets that we've built are for the StreamDeck and the StreamDeck Mini and the ones that are out there. So we're going to get a StreamDeck Studio. It was just announced a couple weeks ago, and we'll try to build some templates out for that. But yes, we will definitely be, there is already a module for BitFocus Companion, and we'll be looking at adding that as well. So, and a bunch of people have been asking about support for OBS.
Mhm.
Yes, we are going to go over OBS support. There's an OBS plugin, and then there's also web browser docs. So both of those work. So we'll be showing OBS in a moment, but next is actually Hive Studio.
Let's see what the buzz is about, Paul.
Here we go. So next is Hive Studio. Let me pull that up here.
Just a few minutes to enter the giveaway. I see Mike's queuing that up here. So last chance to enter the giveaway before we pick a winner at the end of the show. Use that QR code.
You can win a free Move SE. Could be yours.
Now, one of the powers of Hive Studio is remote camera control. So if anyone would like to control the cameras in our studio right now, email me, paul@ptzoptics.com, and I will send you access to these cameras so you can control them. Because that's really the magic of Hive. That's what makes Hive different and interesting. So let's take a peek at...
He wants you to remove my camera from Hive.
Okay, let's show how to do that. So this is Tess's camera in Hive. I'm going to... Oh, yeah, I know why he wants to do that. Because he doesn't want anyone else controlling your camera and messing it up. That happened last show. Good idea, Mike. So I'm going to delete Tess's camera out of Hive because we don't want to give everybody access to all of our cameras. But I am checking my email, and I know the stream is delayed a little bit.
Yes.
So as soon as you email me at paul@ptzoptics.com, I will send you access to Hive, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that, by the way. All I got to do is click the share button in the software here. So when I click this share button, what it does is it allows me to share access. All I do is type in an email address, and I can choose whether that person is either a viewer who can just view the cameras and maybe, take a picture, a producer who can control the cameras, or an administrator, which I'm not going to make anyone an administrator, but an administrator who can invite other people and control everything. So I am going to go over some of these features, and then I'm going to start inviting people into this studio so you guys have the chance to remotely control these PTZ cameras. So the first thing is just clicking where you want the camera to go. So you literally just click where you want the camera to go. You can start zooming. So you can say, all right, I want the camera to go right there, and it'll just zoom right in, or in the reverse where you want the camera to zoom out while you're panning and tilting and zooming.
Yeah, he's using the mouse wheel if you can't see it on his camera there to zoom in and out.
Mouse. Now the other thing is click to center. So you just click, I want the camera to go there, and the camera goes there. Very, very easy for volunteers to get set up, right?
Yeah,
Click to center.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen people try to center a pastor or someone in the middle of a frame and move past it back and forth so many times.
Yeah, and there's also, for these tools, there's a cinematic version and a regular version. So the cinematic version is going to go slower, and it's going to do a little bit more pan tilt smoothness. And you can continue to click where you want the camera to move and go to. Now the next tool is one of my favorites, and I see Danny DeVito there in the corner, so I'm going to choose him. This one's called Fast Frame. I'll do the cinematic movement of this. You can zoom in to Danny DeVito over here and click that is specifically where you want the camera to go, and it'll zoom into there. So it's almost like a PTZ preset that happens on the fly. So that is super, super cool. You guys can do this remotely from anywhere in the world. So if I hit the share button and type your email address in, boom, you're going to have access. Now, from control perspective, you also have just a simple joystick. This is really good with like a touch screen as well, where you can control the camera with PTZ this way. You can switch between cameras right here. Okay, I got somebody in. Terrence would like to have access to this. So Terrence, I'm going to hit the share button. I'm going to make you a producer. Now what that does is that's going to send Terrence an email. So an invitation has been sent to Terrence. He's going to click that email, and boom, you're going to see, just like a Google Doc, you're going to see Terrence basically right next to the share button. A little circle is going to say, okay, Terrence is in the studio. Now, just so you can understand kind of how this cloud hybrid system works, is I am connected on the local area network. So right here, you're not seeing a cloud. You're seeing it's not connected to the cloud. If I click the cloud button, now I'm connected to the cloud, right? So the video goes up to the cloud and comes back down. I don't need to do that because I'm on the local area network. Terrence is in Hawaii. He is not on the local area network here in Pennsylvania. So when Terrence joins, he's going to see that cloud option. It's his only option for controlling these cameras. But he's going to be able to do so in very low latency, and it's pretty fun. So Terrence is going to be in a second here. I'll let you guys know when he's in. There's a little bit of a delay on this stream. I think it's maybe like 30 seconds or so. Now, the other thing to note is that there's a bridge. So what the bridge is essentially, the bridge is what's connecting these cameras to the cloud. So we can restart this bridge. We can unlink it and link it to a different computer. But what that does is it allows the Hive remotely to access our local area network. So literally, Terrence from Hawaii, when he gets in, he could add cameras from our local area network from Hawaii into this system. And I'm going to do this really quickly because I want to show how nice this is. This is John's camera here. connecting over Stream 1, that's fine. And I want to show you all the brands that we support. So this is not just for PTZOptics cameras, because I know at my church, we've got a Sony, we've got a Panasonic, we've got a Blackmagic, and of course, there's one PTZOptics too. So we support all of these different camera brands. And even if you go to like Sony, for example, I was testing with a buddy of mine, the Sony FR7, that's like a $10,000 PTZ camera.
Wow.
So from the highest end cameras all the way to like a PTZOptics Move SE is supported. And these are individual drivers for the cameras. This is not just Visca over IP where we're doing pan, tilt, zoom. These are specifically designed for the cameras. And the reason why that's important is because now when we bring these cameras in, we've got all the image settings, all the color correction, all the blue and red controls. And so that way, if you're using a Sony or a Panasonic or a PTZOptics, all the controls are the same. And now we see Terrence is in. This is my favorite part of Hive. And if anybody else wants to come in, come on in. Terrence has his little button here, this little R for Terrence, and he is controlling our cameras right now. So he's, come on, Terrence. There you go. Terrence is moving the cameras around and controlling them. So, but remote production is more than just controlling cameras. We have the ability to literally go into each camera and set the stream, the bit rate, the NDI format. So literally the bit rate would be important for remote production where you might be maxing out the upload speed that you have at your location. You can adjust all of that. Whether you're using Stream 1 or Stream 2, we have a lot in this product. You have the ability to monitor all your video sources. You have the ability to individually record every video source that is in Hive. Now you can do that in the CMP as well, just so you know, which is free. The Hive is not free. We'll look at the pricing in a second here. Mm-hmm. You have the ability to output the NDI video sources on the far end. So you can output the video sources and add them into a vMix or an OBS that's running on the far end of Hive. And soon we will have full video switching capabilities. So you can video switch and stream all in the cloud. Now, the final thing with Hive that's perhaps the best part of it all is that PTZOptics cameras support Hive linked functionality. So that means that we can connect PTZOptics cameras directly to the cloud. And the thing is, that's interesting. That's happening now. But what you can do is you can log into the PTZOptics web UI. Once and done, connect a camera directly to Hive, unplug it, ship it to a location where you're streaming or a remote destination. As soon as that camera plugs in, when it boots up, it's available in the cloud for remote control. So that was super important for us. In this diagram, you're seeing maybe an older PTZ camera that's not Hive linked and a box camera connected to the Hive and the web via a computer running the Hive software. So that's a local production. But you might have multiple studios, right? You might have multiple classrooms or multiple training spaces. In Studio 1, there's no computer. The cameras are connected directly to the cloud and can be controlled remotely. In Studio 2, we've got some Gen 2 cameras, some older cameras. They require connecting to the Hive via a laptop. So using PTZOptics cameras do have some benefits, and you may want to connect a microphone to the camera so that you can hear what's happening in that room, right? So in room 1 and 2, we're connecting a line level microphone to the PTZOptics cameras that are Hive linked in rooms that are remote to you. And then in room 3, we've actually got an audio mixer giving a line level output into the 3.5 millimeter audio connection of the camera, which is then sent over the internet for remote production. So just giving you some ideas on how this works. The collaboration opportunities are huge here, where you can have multiple producers, camera operators, and people working together regardless of where they're from. So remote work is just such a big deal here. Just wanted to share all of that. And then we'll quickly look at the pricing. Thank you for controlling the cameras remotely, Terrence.
All the way from Hawaii,
So cool.
from the eastern coast to the islands. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty far away.
Yeah.
Now, I should mention that this is not free. Basically, well, it is free, right? So
For one camera.
Hive is free for just one camera. So if you just want to try it with one camera, it could be any PTZ camera. You can have it for free. And you can use it for an unlimited amount of time on your local area network. But as soon as you start sharing access and using it remotely, then you have a limit of 5 hours on the free plan. So we want to get you connected and get you access. On the standard studio, you can have up to 3 cameras connected. You get 25 hours of usage, and you can control the cameras that way. Or then you can have the unlimited plan, which gets you unlimited cameras. It's $99 a month. It has 100 hours of included. So essentially, it's like $1 per hour per camera per user for cloud control in the Hive. Okay, we need to move on, don't we? Spent a lot of time on Hive. Sorry about that.
I'm going to have to hop. Will you be able to do the giveaway?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
We love the Hive. That's why we can't stop talking about it. It's too
Sorry
easy to
about
talk
that.
to.
That because we still have to do OBS and vMix. Oh my goodness.
Well, if you want to know more about Hive, you can go to PTZOptics.com/Hive. It's in a closed beta, but we're going to open that up in the next couple of months, so stay tuned.
So sorry for going a little over. We've got 2 more to go. It shouldn't take too long. I am going to jump into OBS because that's our next one here. So we have an OBS plugin and we have OBS web controllers. They're both available on our websites. They're very easy to use. You can see here that in OBS, I have a PTZ controller set up for pan, tilt, zoom. And there's a couple different options. We've got a large one on the right here. We've got a small one in the bottom. And we're doing pan, tilt, zoom control right there. Easy peasy. Now, how did that get set up? Well, in docs, I did custom browser docs. And in the custom browser docs, you have the ability to add what we call a web controller. Essentially, you can download these files directly from our website, unzip them, put them somewhere on your computer, and you just enter the URL of the device. And I'll delete this one and add it back in to show. All right, large controller. When you add it and hit apply, it comes out as a dockable panel. And that dockable panel can be docked in several areas of the UI. I'll put it over here. But you can have multiple panels on top of each other and have them nested for PTZ camera control built directly into OBS. And in the preferences area of these apps that we've designed, you can enter in the IP address of the camera, click done, reload, and control the camera remotely. That's directly in OBS. Next is going to be, what is next? The next one going to be?
vMix compatibility.
Okay.
Using control in vMix, which is usually our switcher of choice here for the PTZOptics live show.
It is. So okay. So this is going to be interesting, but I can
While
be
you
done.
work on that, I can talk a little bit. John's helping us out in the chat, but people are asking about Hive compatibility with G2 cameras. It is supported. You're not going to see it Hive link, so it's not going to have some of those additional features and support. But you will be able to take a G2 camera like you can with the CMP currently and add auto tracking and add additional features like that and adjust some more minor nuanced things like image settings. What you will see, though, is further compatibility and Hive link support on our Move 4K and Link and Zcam coming out.
Excuse me. All right. So I got vMix opened up. Now vMix, it's not free. You have to pay for vMix, and you need vMix 4K to open up the PTZ controls. But once you do that, it's pretty powerful, especially if you're like a one-man band or you're just getting started. So you're trying to do everything in vMix, which a lot of our customers do like to do. So I'm going to try to zoom into a cat that I have on the wall with vMix. So we've got pan, tilt, zoom movements. I can go fast. I can go slow. Let's go fast since we're running out of time. And there's a little cat on the wall over here. And I'm going to create a preset on that cat. Now the zoom speed is on the sides. It's all really in here. You got pan speed, zoom speed, position speed, meaning the speed at which the camera moves when a PTZ preset's called. And I can create an input at that position. So that's basically a preset. And I can create another input. And what that does is inside of vMix, which I think I can show here. Yep. There's vMix. Inside vMix, I have these pictures that I can just click and the camera will go there. So it's really, really powerful for PTZ control. And I've just connected to the PTZOptics camera using the PTZOptics dropdown. Click the connect button. There we go. And I can control it. I can control it fast. I can control it slow. I can slow down the position speeds. So if I go here, it's going to move nice and slowly. It just depends on what we have set for that speed there. So when I call it nice and fast, just really, really powerful. So that is PTZ control connected to vMix. Now we got one final thing, and then we'll do our giveaway. Sorry for taking so long on this. The last one that we didn't want to forget about was at PTZOptics.com, we have our control protocols. So this is the, is it, okay, so in here we have our OBS plugin, by the way, our dockable controllers that you can download. Why am I in the wrong place, John?
Under integrations there.
I see documentation, I see firmware.
You can also go to PTZOptics.com/QSYS.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Integrations. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the integrations area, if you want to use Crestron, Extron, or QSYS, these are plugins that are available. So we've got a QSYS plugin, we have an Extron plugin, and a Crestron plugin that you can download to control. And that also goes hand in hand with our documentation for, I thought it was in documentation, but I guess it's in developer portal. In the developer portal, we have all the commands that you can use to create your own controllers.
Exactly. Yeah, so you could customize, make your own platform, control station, really do whatever you want with API because you have access to almost every control that the Move 4K is capable of. So if you go to our developer portal, as Paul's showing there, you can get a lot of those API tools and access. And then, yes, if you're an integrator, you can Crestron, Extron, QSYS, you're able to connect those controls. You can have your touchscreen panel with QSYS. You're able to control all the camera movements directly. And that is now a free integration with the Move 4K. So check that out if you have one of those cameras. Alrighty, Paul, I think it's time for our giveaway there of the Move SE. And remember, you have to be watching if you want to win. Don't forget.
All right, I'm going to pull a winner. Okay, now I have to log into
Paul's
this
going
thing.
to log into Gleam. He's going to pull a winner, and we're going to announce it on the show, and you have to let us know in chat if that's you. So you have to be watching.
Here we go. Pull a winner. Okay, first person is Mark Rounds. Are you here, Mark Rounds? I'm going to pull up the YouTube.
Mark Browns, are you in the chat? Let us know you're seeing this in the chat.
Let's see here. Mark Rounds. Okay. I'm going to type it in here. Mark Rounds. I'm surprised we didn't get more people to get into Hive. I only got one person.
Yeah, we'll have to make like a, maybe even like a part of the website where we could
send people to. You guys don't
want
to control the cameras back here and get a behind the scenes view of the whole studio?
Mark Rounds, are you in the chat? If not, give you a minute. If not, we'll pull again.
All right. And by the way, if someone still wants to get into Hive, it's not too late. I'll add you.
Dave Funk wants us to pull again. He's excited.
Dave Funk can pull again. Let's do it.
All right. Last chance, Mark. Last chance.
Next person, unless Mark comes earlier, is Greg Wagoner.
Greg
Wagoner. All right, Greg.
Greg, are you in the chat? You got to be in the chat to win. You got to be here with us live.
Come on, let's go.
What do you got for us, Greg? Hi, Brian. We're looking for our winner of the Move SE 1080p NDI enabled PTZ camera.
All right, I'm going to keep pulling winners, and we're just going to see who does it first. All right, next person will be Kenneth Nunn.
Kenneth Nunn.
I've seen Kenneth before. That's a, and I'm just going to keep picking. The first person to reply will get it.
Kenneth replied. Kenneth Nunn in the chat said here. Wow.
Kenneth Nunn in the house. All right, Ken, you have won. Congratulations.
You have won a Move SE.
If anybody, the show's over now, but if you email me and you want to control Hive, I'll throw you in. You can get a chance for it. Try it out.
Absolutely. And we do this every month. It's the last Wednesday of every month, and we usually give a Move SE. So if you didn't win this time, Santiago or Dave Funk, sorry. But stay tuned, because next month, this time, we'll be pulling again, and you will have a chance to win your Move SE. Don't forget to hashtag share your vision on social media, whether using Instagram or Twitter. Show us how you're using our products. That's going to give you an insight not only on the show here, but it'll show our great audience how you're using our products and how they might be able to use them as well. And Paul, are you going anywhere in October that maybe we can let people know of?
We will be in New York at NAB New York at the Javits Center, October 9th and 10th.
Yep.
I think that's what it is.
Yep.
So let us know if you can be there, and we'd love to see you.
Yes, you can go to our booth at 537 NAB New York. It's a beautiful time. Join us if you're in the city. Come say hello. And I think that wraps us up. If you looking for anything else, go to PTZOptics.com. We have a great knowledge base, a great support team as well. But other than that, thanks for joining us. And Paul, anything else to leave our beautiful audience with?
That's all. Thank you so much for joining today, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.